Maserati. Maserati. Even the word is evocative. Money, leather, men in pinstripe suits and sleeping with the fishes. And history. The brand drips heritage. Quick history lesson. Over 100 years ago in 1914, 3 out of the 7 Maserati brothers opened the doors to the first Maserati office in Bologna, Italy, driven together by their passion for cars and motors. With a racing background, the brothers started making their own race cars, which quickly gained notoriety. Perhaps most notable is the V4, a 16-cylinder race car that was clocked doing 154 miles an hour in 1920. Now, after a brief pause for World War II, new and wealthier management allowed Maserati to start making consumer cars. But don't think the company forgot its heritage. Every car they made held true to their humble beginnings. The grills on the front of every Maserati are directly inspired by some of their early race cars. And found on every model is something very special, the Trident. The logo was designed by another of the Maserati brothers, not involved in the car company. He was an artist, and he said he drew inspiration from Neptune's Trident, featured on a fountain found in the city of the first Maserati office. Then the company changed hands plenty of times over the years, and after decades of successful car making, quality was dropping, sales were slumping, and in 1993, the company was sold to Fiat. After a few years, Fiat handed the reins over to Ferrari, who hoped to use the Maserati name to produce more affordable versions of what they were making without diluting the Ferrari name. Ferrari had a problem on their hands. They had to breathe new life into a faded name. They needed to knock it out of the park for this brand's re-entry. So what did they give us? Starting in 2001, Maserati offered 2 versions of the Coupe. A 2+2 hardtop like this one, and a convertible roadster. Ferrari tossed out the old twin-turbo setup from the 3200 GT, instead opting for their own F136 motor. This is the same V8 found in Ferrari's F430, 458, and California models. The 4.2 liter is bassy and gorgeous to listen to. It's punchy. Any gear, any speed, you put your foot down and you feel the earth move under you. This particular model was modified by the previous owner. Take into account the ECU chips installed, and you're talking about 420 horsepower under the hood. In the original configuration, 0 to 60 was done in just 4.9 seconds, with this being presumably even faster. It'll keep your heart in your throat. God, the torque! But this car is equally as capable of being calm and collected. There's no droning from the exhaust at normal speeds. And the brakes are nice and progressive. You push a little, you get a normal stop, and you can really dig into it if you want to stop on a dime. And the ride isn't bad at all. The previous owner also installed aftermarket suspension, but even this is nice. Sporty, no doubt. You're gonna feel some bumps, but it's not bad. There is a weak link, and it's the gearbox. This version of the Coupe, the Cambiocorsa, came with paddle shifters. And this is paddle shifting before double clutch gearboxes capable of shifting gears in milliseconds were standard on cars like these. It takes its sweet time, and even in full auto mode, it bucks and it barks. But this issue only really presents itself at low speeds. It's a car that wants to be driven fast. When you put your foot down, the gearbox sorts itself out for the most part. It's manageable, certainly learnable. It may not be razor's edge precise, but it's a reminder that driving is a skill and should be participatory. If you are looking at buying one of these, I would test drive the manual as well. Speaking of participating in driving, the steering in this car is incredible. It's precise, it's sharp. You point this car in a direction and it'll have no problem keeping up. The amount of information you get from the front wheels is incredible. Some cars today have plushy steering that shields you from all the activity and hubbub coming from the front wheels, but not this. Every bump, every sway, every change of direction is broadcast to you in order for you to be in very precise control. Everything inside of this car is premium. There's leather up here, leather down there, leather seats, leather roof, leather door card, console, dash. It's comfy, high end. It's definitely a nice place to spend time. And all this points to the true aim of this car, to be a grand tourer. And I think that's what I find most appealing about this car. The concept of grand touring is lost today. You know, back in the 50s and 60s, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Maserati, everyone was making GT cars. But that's because they had a practical application, especially in Europe where they sold most. Hopping from France to Germany for some nice beer or taking a jaunt to Monaco. But now, anybody who can afford a Maserati isn't gonna drive it for hours on end. They're just gonna fly wherever they're going. So this ends up being a glance into the past, an echo of a time where all gratification was delayed and you worked hard for everything you had. Cars today, especially on the mass market, are heading more and more into the direction of being an appliance. Get me from point A to point B while costing as little to run in between as possible. But not this car. This car has purpose, and its purpose is to be driven. Everything is focused so that being in this chair is as pleasurable an experience as possible. Even details like the back of these paddle shifters, they're lined in this fabulous suede. A Ferrari V8 up front, power in the back, leather seats that suck you in for the corners and support you for an 8-hour road trip. How could you not love driving this thing? So, the pressure's on. Ferrari is tasked with reviving the Trident, restoring the honor that 3 young Italian men forged and earned with their bare hands. Crowds gather, and Ferrari raises the curtain on this car. So how did they do? They killed it.